let's get after him right away, defense. Let's stick it to him in a hurry. Let's just make up our mind we're going to go at him. Let's give our back some running room. Let's get out there and get after him. It's hot out there. It's hot for them, too, but let's blow them off the line of scrimmage. Let's suck it up and gather yourself and relax. Let yourself go.
For quarterback Jim Hart, 1971 was not a satisfying year, but it was a year when the 6-year veteran performed admirably under stress. Pete Beathard, who shared the quarterback spot with Hart, also executed well under pressure. Both quarterbacks were able to help develop a potentially explosive offense that was aided to a large degree by an excellent offensive line, which has always been a St. Louis trademark. Wayne Mulligan, Tom Banks, Irv Goody, Clyde Williams, Dan Deerdorf, Ernie McMillan, and Bob Reynolds. They allowed Cardinal quarterbacks to be trapped only 19 times this season, an all-time Cardinal record. The line also opened holes for the running backs. Number 36, MacArthur Lane, was the Cardinals' leading rusher for the second straight year. He dazzled enemy tacklers with his skill. He also finished 1971 as the Cardinals' second leading pass receiver. Sid Edwards appears to be shot out of a cannon when he runs. He attacks the defense with wide open, straight ahead, honest power. Johnny Rowland was again a key man in the Cardinal backfield and frequently kept drives alive with his seemingly effortless runs. This year, utility back Roy Shivers, number 27, set a record by having 2 knee operations in the span of 1 season. John Gilliam has become one of the premier receivers in the NFL, and he has reached that status by blending raw, flat-out speed with magnificent agility. He caught 42 passes for 837 yards. Injury forced Jackie Smith out of the last 5 games, and by his standards, he did not have a good year. But his standards are pretty high. Many still consider him the best tight end in the business. Dave Williams remains a flamboyant receiver with a knack for picking open spaces. The entire Cardinal offense was overshadowed in 1971, though, by this man, Mel Gray, the Big Red Rookie of the Year. He has a future that is almost frightening. There's nothing fancy about Mel Gray, nothing dressed up or disguised. He can crack a defense with the speed and precision of an all-pro. He opened up defenses with his pass patterns and then closed them down with his runs. But his most spectacular contribution was as a kickoff return man. returning 30 kicks for a staggering 740 yards. Larry Willingham, number 33, was another rookie kickoff returner who added spark to the special teams and has bright promise as a defensive back. He was another to be sidelined by injury. Chuck Latterette again handled the Big Red punting and, as usual, brought along his own special brand of excitement. The spotlight focused on Jim Bakken frequently in 1971, and he performed well, clicking on 21 of 32 field goals. The Big Red defense went through changes and injuries, but the promise was always there. Rookie Ron Jankowski, number 78, crashed into the starting lineup, and he may even have surprised himself by doing so. He played his rookie year the way a lot of veterans would like to play. Number 70, Rolf Kruger, teamed with Jankowski to give the Cardinals a solid wall on the left side. The 8 seasons of experience of Chuck Walker, number 79, helped hold the defense together. Number 75, Bob Rowe, plugged up the defensive tackle spot with his usual aggressiveness. Number 74, Fred Herron, used great speed to track down anyone near him with a football in his hands. Joe Schmiesing, number 82, rounded out the defensive line. Number 67, Larry Stallings, again displayed all of the abilities which have made him a consistently superior linebacker. Jamie Rivers picked up where he left off in 1970 to continue his phenomenal growth at middle linebacker. Two men saw considerable action on the right side. Number 56, Mike McGill, showed excellent range. First-year man Rick Ogle, number 52, was one of only a few rookies in the NFL to start at linebacker. The defensive backfield was hit hard by injury, but rookie Norm Thompson, number 43, the Cardinals' first-round draft choice, stayed healthy and developed his skills at cornerback with surprising quickness. This face belongs to Miller Farr. While a close-checking pass defender, he is best known for his upending tackles. Number 22, Roger Worley, was an All-Pro last year. This year, because of injuries to teammates, he was forced to play 2 positions, as was Larry Wilson. But he is one of the best defensive backs in the game. His winding punt returns gave the offense good field position. For 9 years, Jerry Stovall has been a stalwart. This season, like last, he was slowed by injury, but his inspiration was felt by all. Jerry formally retired at season's end after a brilliant career, and his shoes will be hard to fill. Dale Hackbart, number 49, came to the Cardinals this year from Minnesota and showed that he could hit just as hard in St. Louis. This interception snapped Roger Staubach's streak of 134 consecutive passes without an interception. Any team in football would give a great deal to have this man. Larry Wilson has had one of the most dazzling careers in the history of the NFL. As always with Larry Wilson, his actions say all that need be said. A dank, gray pregame drizzle welcomed the reconstructed Washington Redskins for the season's first game. A near sellout crowd saw Jackie Smith catch 2 touchdown passes, one each from quarterbacks Jim Hart and Pete Beathard. While the Cardinals played good football, they fell prey to a nemesis that would haunt them for the remainder of the season, the little mistake. Every point Washington scored came as a direct result of a Cardinal turnover. St. Louis played well enough to win, but their miscues proved deadly as the Skins turned a 10-7 halftime deficit into a 24-17 victory.
In St. Louis, they welcomed George Allen, the new head coach of the Redskins, who's built winning teams for years with skin-headed veterans who rarely commit mistakes. Bob Hollway, the new coach of the Cardinals, came from Minnesota, where his defense ruled the black and blue division. Against Washington, the Cardinal defense made the Redskins pay dearly for every mistake. While the Big Red defense stuck its head in every collision fiercely, the conservative Cardinals offense fell flat on its face. 2 touchdowns scored by their superstar tight end Jackie Smith, number 81, were the only bright moments for St. Louis. For most of the day, the Cardinals looked like they were trying to cope with a slick frisbee instead of catching a football. Quarterback Jim Hart, number 17, spent most of his day groping for the ball rather than throwing it. 3 times the alert Redskins secondary picked off his errant tosses. While St. Louis sputtered, stumbled, and fumbled, Redskin veterans like number 55 linebacker Chris Hanberger accepted each gift and delivered it to the end zone. On offense, Washington relied on the ground-eating strides of Larry Brown, the NFL's leading rusher in 1970. But Redskin glory rested in the sure hands of their tight end Jerry Smith, number 87, whose AstroTurf acrobatics ensured the first Washington win. While Jerry barely missed an impossible touchdown, he came back to score one almost as incredible. While the splendor of his catch cannot be denied, the handshakes and hugs could well have gone to center Lynn Hawes. Hawes, number 56, picked up and polished off number 74, Fred Herron, and allowed quarterback Billy Kilmer that split second of fleeting freedom. The rest was all Jerry Smith as Washington's poised and disciplined veterans dismantled the St. Louis Cardinals 24-17.
The following Monday night gave a national television audience an indication of the kind of football the Cardinals could play. Head coach Bob Hollway gave Pete Beathard the role of starting quarterback, and he responded by leading a first quarter drive that gave St. Louis a 7-0 lead. This 51-yard pass to John Gilliam set up Sid Edwards' 1-yard plunge. The Cardinal defense met the Jets head-on. On the Cardinals' third possession, Pete Beathard with 3rd and 8 hit elusive John Gilliam for a first down. He kept the drive afloat with another 3rd down completion, this one to Jackie Smith. Two plays later, Smith bowled to the Jets' 4 to set up Sid Edwards' 2nd touchdown of the night. But the Jets bounced back to only trail 17-10 in the 4th quarter. However, a monumental goal line stand assured victory. Jamie Rivers and Larry Wilson stacked up John Riggins on 4th down from the 1. New York tried to come back, but rookie Norm Thompson stopped their last pass, and St. Louis had its first win of the season, 17-10. When the Jets left, the Giants came. New York unveiled their heralded rookie, Rocky Thompson, and he unleashed a 93-yard kickoff return that helped give the Giants a 21-3 second quarter lead. But the Cardinals had a rookie of their own to debut, and streamlined Mel Gray came out with a flashy show of speed and 2 long touchdowns. St. Louis lost 21-20, but the defeat was tempered by the emergence of Mel Gray.
Pete Beathard hit a smooth striding Mel Gray, number 85, for scores of 64 and 70 yards. But in the end, Pete Beathard's missiles were no match for the magical mesmerizing of Fran Tarkington as the Giants held on to win 21-20.
The Cardinals next met Norm Van Brocklin's roughhouse Falcons, who were strong favorites. But the defense played brilliantly as Roger Worley's cornerback blitz set up the first touchdown. When MacArthur Lane knocked in for the score, the game was won, but not over. Place kicker Jim Bakken kicked 4 fluid motion field goals, enough to defeat the Falcons by himself, and the defense grabbed off 4 Atlanta passes. This Jerry Stovall interception protected the St. Louis lead, preserving a 26-9 victory. The Cardinals had evened their record at 2 wins, 2 losses.
As the Atlanta Falcons met the visiting St. Louis Cardinals, Falcon head coach Norm Van Brocklin had good reason to be optimistic. For the first time, the once lowly Falcons have demonstrated a powerful offense, and the keys to the attack are the passing of veteran quarterback Bob Berry, number 17, and the clutch receiving of San Diego State rookie Ken Burrow, number 82. So far this season, these two have provided the big play excitement previously absent from the Atlanta offense. The St. Louis Cardinals provided the toughest test for Atlanta's touchdown tandem. The Cardinals have one of the stingiest secondaries in the game, with cornerbacks Miller Farr and Roger Worley, and safeties Larry Wilson and Jerry Stovall, number 21. Cardinal defenders were all over the field as they intercepted Berry 4 times. And the heavy traffic prompted a remark from Falcon receiver Ken Burrow. Said Burrow, "I felt like I was on the Los Angeles freeway. I never saw so much traffic." This interception by Stovall set up a 45-yard field goal by Jim Bakken, number 25. Bakken, a 10-year veteran from Wisconsin, is one of the most reliable and underrated kickers in the NFL. And while other kickers come and go, Bakken's field goals just seem to keep on sailing over NFL crossbars. 2 field goals by Bakken gave the Cardinals a 6-0 first quarter lead. In the second quarter, the Falcons again were unable to consistently move the ball as Bob Berry was belted on a safety blitz by Roger Worley, number 22. The fumble recovery by Chuck Walker, number 79, set up the first St. Louis touchdown. A 1-yard smash by MacArthur Lane, number 36. While the Falcons' offense was plagued by mistakes, the defense provided the only Atlanta touchdown. In the fourth quarter, the Falcons blocked a Cardinal punt, and cornerback Tom Hayes, number 27, sprinted in for the score. But the Falcons' effort came too late as the Cardinals' tough defense was just too much for Atlanta's offense. Final score, St. Louis 26, Atlanta 9.
After the Falcon win, the season changed dramatically. The little mistake was compounded by plays that almost worked, plays that missed by inches. The sum was defeat and frustration. Against the Washington Redskins in the season's 5th game, 2 fumbles proved to be decisive. MacArthur Lane exploded into the end zone with as much force as any runner ever, but he didn't have the ball. Against the San Francisco 49ers, Pete Beathard was blindsided. He lost the ball and Tommy Hart found it. 63 yards and a touchdown spelled defeat. The Cardinals were playing good football, but mistakes had them on the skids.
At Busch Stadium, St. Louis, the 49ers had taken a 3-0 second quarter lead on a Bruce Gossett field goal. The ensuing kickoff fell into the hands of Mel Gray, number 85. "65 yards later, the Cardinals had their best field position of the day. Jackie Smith, number 81. The touchdown moved the Cardinals to within 3 points at 10-7. With time running out in the first half, 49er punter Jim McCann blew the snap and the Cardinals were inside the 49er 10. But they gambled for the touchdown instead of the field goal on 4th down and lost. And from then on, it was all San Francisco. The Cardinals made it close again in the fourth quarter on a Beathard pass to John Gilliam, number 44. But by that time, the 49ers were moving almost at will. And on the very next possession, John Brody found number 88, Dick Witcher, for 50 yards of breathing room. San Francisco had won 3 in a row. Despite the season-long rash of penalties, the 49ers are making the big plays that win. And they'll all tell you that's what's important to them. San Francisco 26, St. Louis 14.
It was frustration, total frustration. It seemed as if it were always time for the other team to celebrate. The little mistake had grown into the big mistake. St. Louis was playing too hard, maybe pushing too far. They seemed spooked by weeks past and games lost. But professional athletes have professional pride, and pride holds 40 men together. In 1971, the Cardinals traveled to Buffalo for their 7th game, and the Big Red defense held on long enough for the offense to do its job. Early in the game, Jim Hart hit Roy Shivers to set up MacArthur Lane's short touchdown. The Cardinals had a 14-0 first quarter lead, but the Bills scored on a tipped pass, and St. Louis was again in the position of having to overcome mistakes or lose. This time, they overcame convincingly. Jim Hart hit Jackie Smith with a 10-yard touchdown for a 21-9 third quarter lead. Then Hart threw to Jim McFarland for the Cardinals' final score and a 28-23 victory.
The Buffalo Bills were last in offense, last in defense, and the only NFL team to have lost every game. St. Louis quarterback Jim Hart did his part to keep Buffalo on the bottom as he led the Cardinals to a 14-0 first quarter lead over the Bills. In the second quarter, the Bills finally found some cause for celebration as they trapped power runner Sid Edwards in the end zone for a safety. A deflected pass from Dennis Shaw to second-year tight end Ted Coy, number 85, brought the Bills to within 5 points at the half. A fumble on the second half kickoff gave Jim Hart the chance to put the lead back at 12 with a flip to Jackie Smith. On the next series, Dennis Shaw got the Bills going again with a ricochet shot to O.J. Simpson. Shaw followed by a rolling right and firing to running back Greg Jones, number 36, whose touchdown again closed the gap to 5 at 21-16 after 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, Jim Hart again built the St. Louis lead to 12 with a touchdown dart to second-year tight end Jim McFarland, number 83. Still, the Bills kept coming. On the next series, a left-handed pass from number 34 rookie running back Jim Braxton to wide receiver Haven Moses put Buffalo in scoring position again. Then came the plays which once and for all ruined Buffalo's chance for their first victory. Shaw, rolling right, found Haven Moses in the end zone, but the apparent touchdown was nullified by a holding penalty, which was then followed by 2 end zone interceptions on consecutive series of downs. Buffalo's inability to score from close range made the longest play of the day far less meaningful. Alvin Wyatt returned a Chuck Ladderette punt 61 yards to a touchdown in the closing minutes. For Buffalo, it was the closest they'd been all year, but it still had to be officially recorded as their 12th consecutive loss. Final score, St. Louis 28, Buffalo 23.
St. Louis began the second half of its season with a game against the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys. Bakken kicked 2 field goals and Dave Williams hauled down a Jim Hart pass in a back-and-forth game that saw the score tied with under 2 minutes remaining. But the Cowboys' Tony Fritsch snaked through a 26-yard field goal to give Dallas a 16-13 win.
A win against the Cardinals meant survival in the NFC East for the Dallas Cowboys. On defense, they gambled with 8-man blitzes and dealt out a beating to Cardinal quarterback Jimmy Hart. On offense, Tom Landry's gamble was with Roger Staubach, who fancy-footed through the Cardinals for over 90 yards. With the score tied at 3, St. Louis twice feasted on cornerback Isaac Thomas, number 37, a raw rookie cornerback ripe for plucking. Once Thomas was roasted by John Gilliam, and then he was eaten whole by Dave Williams, whose touchdown gave the Cardinals a 10-3 lead at the half. St. Louis seemed to have the game nicely in hand when Jim Hart found sweet-fingered Jackie Smith all alone in the end zone. But the Cardinals were detected holding on the play, and Dallas later turned this good fortune into a touchdown when Staubach split the scenes with a strike to tight end Mike Ditka. In the last quarter, Staubach smartly maneuvered the Cowboys into position to break the 13-13 stalemate. Tony Fritsch's 26-yard field goal capped a 16-13 victory as Dallas kept treading water in the NFC East.
The following Monday night, the Cardinals were in San Diego, and the first half was marked by some outstanding play by Miller Farr. MacArthur Lane applied pressure to the Charger defense early in the first quarter, and St. Louis jumped into a 7-0 lead with a pass from Jim Hart to Jim McFarland. But one of the strange plays that had haunted the Big Red all year occurred when Hart aimed a pass at Jackie Smith. Jeff Queen scored from short range, and with time running out, the Chargers were ahead 17-10. The Big Red came back, and with 17 seconds left, Sid Edwards went up and over, and the Cardinals had a tie. St. Louis elected to try an onside kick in a bold attempt to win the game, but the Chargers recovered. And with 3 seconds left, Dennis Partee launched a 45-yard shot that gave San Diego a victory over a hustling Cardinal team that had chosen not to settle for a tie.
One setback is Jeff Queen. He gets the quick toss. He's going nowhere. Ron Jankowski.
Too good a line to pass up, but when you're 3 and 5, stuff like that happens to you. That might be one of the reasons you wind up 3 and 5. I like that kind of call. It's Hadel had a great line today. I said, John, how's it going? He says, 10 years in the league, and I'm 3 and 5. Point.
Second down and 5. The ball at the 43. Gilliam moves in from his left split end position. MacArthur Lane moving behind Sid Edwards over the 45, short of the first down.
There's a lot of things you have to take into consideration when you're in a...
And Jackie Smith on the right side. MacArthur Lane gets the call in. He gets the first down inside of San Diego territory to the 46. Williams left. This is Lane. Lane inside the 40, inside the 35 is MacArthur Lane, hit there by Joe Beauchamp. Williams left, Williams right. Hart firing out to his tight end, Jackie Smith, who has it. Smith upended at the 27-yard line. Bob Howard is there, 24. Brian Salter, number 30 for San Diego. All the way at quarterback. This is Sid Edwards. Sid Edwards cutting back for the first down, and to the 20-yard line is Sid Edwards. Pete Barnes, number 59. Hart looking out to the right for Gilliam. And he has it, and he is inbounds. Gilliam, the defender, was Bob Howard. I believe he hit Gilliam and took him out of bounds, which is the completion. Backfield now for the St. Louis Cardinals on second down, 6 yards, and this is goal to go for MacArthur Lane. He's hit in there. Bob Babbage, number 60, along with the defensive front line of the Chargers. The big tight end, he'll battle for the football. It is a passing situation for Jim Hart. Roy Shivers, the third man in that stacked backfield. Hart is going to roll. Irv Goody, 55. Back in the corner of the end zone. Number 83 for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jim McFarland, the other tight end who had come in on the short yardage offense. Continues from San Diego Stadium with the score. The Cardinals 7, the Chargers nothing. Well, we're going to see a reverse. This is Garrison. Schmeezing read the reverse beautifully. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down. Pick up of 3. Second down and 7. Hart going deep, looking over the middle. This is Lane. He holds on to this one, close to the first down. Dropped there on the 32-yard line by Bob Babbage.
Position right there, where number 17.
Second down, we come with the draw to MacArthur Lane, who breaks tackles up to the 45-yard line. Babbage again. Again, the fake draw to hold linebackers by Hart. Jackie Smith.
There's a hole in the middle there.
Fletcher makes the stop, but Smith moves inside the 35 of the Chargers. He's in possession. Cardinals out in front, 7-3. Toss goes out to MacArthur Lane. Bob Reynolds with a good block in front.
Lane, the ball carrier.
Lane down to about the 30-yard line. This is MacArthur Lane. And he breaks tackles moving
Lane,
in
the
front
ball
of the
carrier,
20.
tackled by Pete Barnes.
Again, the play fake. Fired out to MacArthur Lane, out of bounds at the 14-13-yard line of MacArthur Lane. Barnes over there, along with Beauchamp, but MacArthur Lane stops the clock. Second down and 5. Lane,
Lane, the ball
inside
carrier.
the 10 is MacArthur Lane.
Tripped up by Babbage.
Frank, you watch these Cardinal backs with all their power. You wonder why the longest gain from scrimmage this year has been 22 yards by MacArthur Lane in our second Monday night game against the Jets.
And that they'll show again. Shivers, the deep man in the Cardinal stack. Third down, inches, the ball at the 9-yard line. Edwards lunging for what appears to be the first down. 8 seconds remain in the first half. Dave Williams will come into the lineup. Up the middle goes MacArthur Lane.
Going to have to start using some of those timeouts pretty soon.
From that angle.
From the 13-yard line, Bakken. Larry Wilson holding. About half a 9-iron for Bakken. And there's the gun. And that is the end of the first half with the score. The Cardinals 10, the Chargers 3. A wobbly kick. Mel Gray will field it at the goal line.
And he is in. Look at him there. Man, he got some open.
There he goes. Mel Gray run out of bounds finally by Jim Hill, and did he fly up that sideline?
Did he ever? And momentum has just switched sides. Momentum is now with the Cardinals.
Moving from the 41-yard line of the Chargers. Jim Hart. Firing for Lane. He says, I have it. MacArthur Lane hit by Jimmy Hill, and it is complete. This is Lane. Gets away from Williams down the sidelines. Moving for about 8 yards out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Standing hard. Hit Edwards. Upended right about the line of scrimmage. Setbacks with the automatic. Fired out to MacArthur Lane. Babbage misses as Lane moves over the 35 to the 36. Long one. Roy Shivers is the deep man. This is MacArthur Lane with the football, and did the second effort make it? The Cardinals. 9 minutes, 48 seconds remain to be played. Hart for Jackie Smith. He has him.
Boy,
Jackie Smith inside the 35. Send it back, and we'll find out which one it is right now. It's Montgomery. He drops the football. The Cardinals have recovered, I believe. To conserve time. 1 minute 14, the clock moving.
Good place for work. He's got man-to-man on that linebacker. Another fumble, but the Cardinals picked that one up.
To 10. 1 minute and 2 seconds remain. Gilliam right, Gray left, Hart back. MacArthur Lane. The draw play to Edwards. Edwards to the 2. Good call by Hart.
What a ball game. What a ball game.
Man. Edwards and Hart. This is MacArthur Lane. He's backed up. Maybe a slight gain. The clock will move. 2 plays have been called in the huddle. This will be a pass play if Hart does not use that other timeout. He'll have to, I guess, now. He has
back in the
remaining.
huddle. Now he's going to call that timeout, I believe, Frank.
17 to 10. The second down. The ball is on the 2-yard line. The big man gets the call. Edwards, I believe. Ted Edwards.
Philadelphia head coach Ed Kayat brought his New Life Eagles to St. Louis the following week, and rookie George Huey thrilled the local fans with a blazing 103-yard kickoff return, getting blocking help from Jim Hargrove, a promising young Cardinal linebacker. But the Eagles capitalized on Cardinal mistakes and left town with a 37-20 victory.
Eagles built what seemed to be a fat 17-0 lead until number 45, rookie George Huey, cut a jagged path to a 103-yard touchdown. Inspired by Huey's sensational return, the Cardinals rallied behind the rockets of Jim Hart to John Gilliam. Then MacArthur Lane cut through the crease and outraced the pursuit on a 40-yard touchdown jump.
The next week, St. Louis took the field in Yankee Stadium in an attempt to beat the Giants for the first time since 1968. The defense intercepted the Giants' first 3 passes of the game, and Jim Hart gave St. Louis an early lead with this pass to John Gilliam. Then Larry Stallings followed up a Jim Bakken field goal with this super effort. With less than 7 minutes elapsed in the first quarter, the St. Louis lead had ballooned to 17-0. Larry Wilson, the Cardinals' all-time interception leader, picked off his second late in the game, and Jim Hart was on target for 2 quick plays. First, he hit Mel Gray for a 35-yard pickup. Then John Gilliam caught Hart's pass to close out the scoring and give St. Louis an impressive, quick-striking 24-7 win.
In Yankee Stadium, the Cardinals gave a sound pasting to the New York fumbling Giants. Within 8 minutes of the first quarter, New York committed 3 turnovers, which led to a fast 17-0 Cardinal lead. The first Cardinal touchdown resulted from a perfect pass from Jim Hart to John Gilliam. Trailing 10-0, Fran Tarkington threw his 3rd interception of the initial quarter, and linebacker Larry Stallings angled to the flag for an easy score. Behind 17-0, the shell-shocked Giants defense began to overpower both blockers and ball carriers. Then Scott Eaton, number 20, stole Jim Hart's pass out of the hands of Jim McFarland to set up New York's only touchdown of the game. Tarkington caught the Cardinals with a quick count. He also caught Bob Tucker in full stride within the crease of the St. Louis zone. Tucker smartly exited stage left, but should have kept right on running because the Cardinals' old hand Larry Wilson, number 8, never allowed Fran to turn another trick. 2 Jim Hart passes ensured the St. Louis victory. The first was arched to quick-stepping Mel Gray, number 85. The second was a quick out to John Gilliam, who turned the simple pattern into an artistic touchdown. The Cardinals' 24-7 victory was only their 4th of the year, and little solace for a team reputed to be a bona fide contender in the NFC East.
The Green Bay Packers came to town the following week and got a good look at Mel Gray, who gave the Cardinals what appeared to be a comfortable 16-13 lead with less than a minute left in the game. The Cardinals recovered a fumble on the ensuing kickoff, and victory seemed assured. But St. Louis was unable to run out the clock as the Packers squeezed 5 plays into the remaining time. Tim Webster's 27-yard field goal with 3 seconds left gave St. Louis a frustrating tie.
In St. Louis, the Cardinals and the Packers tussled for 57 minutes and 51 seconds before either team could record a touchdown. Late in the 4th period, trailing 9-6, Scott Hunter turned the Packers goalward with this 23-yard play to Donnie Anderson. Subsequent short, tough runs by Anderson, Brockington, and Dave Hampton sustained the drive, and number 25, Dave Hampton, scored the game's first touchdown with 2:09 remaining, and the Pack led 13-9. Seconds later, number 17, Jim Hart, lofted a long one for the well-blanketed number 88, Fred Hyatt. The ball outstretched the arms of the Packers' number 48, Ken Ellis, and fell into the open hands of Mel Gray. And with 1:08 remaining, the Cards had their first touchdown and the lead, 16-13. When Terry Miller recovered Dave Hampton's fumble of the ensuing kickoff, all appeared lost for the Pack. But Jim Hart simply fell on the ball for 3 downs, and when he sent MacArthur Lane after first down yardage on the 4th down, Lane was thrown for a loss by number 43, Doug Hart, and the Pack took over. Hunter spotted Donnie Anderson for a quick gainer, and then he hit number 84, Carroll Dale, inside the St. Louis 20 with just 3 seconds left. The Packers' newest toe, Tim Webster, converted his 3rd field goal of the day, making the final score 16-16.
The Cardinals tried for revenge against the Eagles the following week, but were thwarted. Number 88, Fred Hyatt, subbing for injured Jackie Smith, played well, but Mel Gray provided the only real offensive spark with this 80-yard touchdown. But the Eagles won 19-7.
Cardinals was ignited by Pete Beathard's pass to number 85, a 5'9" blur named Mel Gray. For the rest of the afternoon,
the red-hot Dallas Cowboys hosted the St. Louis Cardinals in the season's last game, and the Dallas defense proved to be too strong. A long, nervous season had ended, and perhaps these sad Cardinal eyes best tell the story of a season of frustration. For head coach Bob Hollway, his first season did not turn out the way he had hoped. Injuries more than decimated his team. Fully 1/4 of the squad had knee operations. But Bob Hollway knows that injuries are part of the game, part of the past, and must be endured. His eyes are on 1972. But in looking back, he will remember that the Cardinals played the game with their hearts, and he will find comfort in that. surest sign of a loser is the inability to profit from defeat. When the Cardinals take the field in 1972, they will have learned a great deal from 1971. They are not losers, but winners holding all the pieces of a puzzle, looking for the best way to put them together.